Good morning. Today is the 14th of September and here we are down at Exbury in the New Forest for the Pride and Joy gathering that's happening today. I was going to go to the Port Solent classic car meeting today, but that's been cancelled. The weather apparently isn't good enough, but this meeting's still happening and so we're really pleased to be here. I do apologise in advance for the wind noise. If I get things wrong, if generates a terrible video, that's just the way that it goes on this channel. My gosh. An Exo Booster kit cam. That looks fast, viewers. I'm more interested though in this very, very nice Rover 216 GTI. Now this actually has an option on it which I very much appreciate, which is this leather interior. This is a 1991-1992 car. It shouldn't actually have that grille on it. Those only came in a bit later. It also had the rear lights changed for the later ones. Very nice colour though. I've owned, well, personally 3 of these. They were all 216 automatics, not GTI. One was a GSI, 2 were SLIs. Classic places I can see that these go, front and rear arches and things on this, but that's okay. I still like it anyway. A sucker for things like that. I'm also a sucker for things like this, viewers. This very, very nice Rover 800. Quite a late one, after 1996 I think this is. It's only got 21,000 miles on the clock. It's flame red. I can't remember if this is a Sterling or something like that. I forget now, but it's very nice and I would like an 800 actually at some point in my life. I know a chap who owns several of them. Next you've got another Rover. This is a 400 HHR. In Nightfire Red, this is colour. Double A, so actually a local plate to this area back in the day. 97, 98 on an R. I have owned one of these as well. I owned a 416 SLI automatic many, many years ago in the saloon in dark green. So I'm very well versed in things like this, viewers. I've owned 9 Rovers. What I haven't owned is a Daimler SP250 or Dart, they're also known as. These kind of, well, they had a short production life because Jaguar didn't particularly like the fact that the E-Type was being made at the same time as this. They only could keep one of them. They decided they'd get rid of this because it was a design under BSA, who previously owned Daimler before 1960. Still, very, very nice car. Also nice is this Subaru Impreza Turbo 2000 RB5. Now the first generation Impreza wasn't called the WX STI officially over here, it was called the Turbo 2000, and here you go. It was a sporty one, and this is the RB5 named after Richard Burns. I think this is a 99, despite the plate, I think it's a 99. I'd love to have a go at something like this actually, viewers. I do like Imprezas very much. I prefer standard ones, that's just kind of me, but there we go. Next we've got something a bit different. We've got a Mustang. Also we've got a little friend inside. He looks very happy when he's in the Mustang. He looks very happy indeed. I'm also happy to see this Mustang here today. It's one of the current ones. I think really most of the ones in this country are V8. I think you could get other engines in them, but I'm pretty sure that most of them are V8s. Next we've got a first generation Boxster 98-99 on an S. Just the normal one. This is a Tiptronic. See the fried egg headlamps going on as well. These actually aren't that expensive at the moment. They're not particularly expensive, which is it's reassuring, I suppose, because most Porsches are quite a lot of money. Right, let's go on to this Triumph TR4A 1967. I think the TR5 came up the same year, so quite a late one. Typical sort of colour of this. This is a beautiful colour actually. That's a superb. Has that been restored as recently or something? Looks really nice. It's called independent rear suspension, it says on the back of the car, IRS. Next you've got this GMC pickup truck. Don't exactly know what year this would be, about 1960, something like that. Bit of a rat look going on with this paint. Definitely not a rat look going on with this 1973 Datsun 260C, which I have actually filmed on the channel. I drove this in 2021, this actual car. They're extremely rare cars in this country. You have to be quite brave to choose one of these over, say, a Rover P6 or a Ford Granada. It was brilliant. The only thing is, this car does not have power steering. It doesn't have power steering. A car this size and this luxurious in 1973 does not have power steering. It's a little bit heavy to manoeuvre, but fantastic. So yes, I had that on I think the 5,000 subscriber special. Actually, I did that. Also, something I did for a special was this actual Jaguar E-Type. It's a 1966 2+2 to 4.2 engine. And it looks different from when I filmed it because the sills have actually been painted red. The sills when I drove this car in 2020 for the 1,000 subscriber special just down the road from here were black. So someone's actually painted the sills the correct colour now. I think because this was, I don't know if it still is, it was a hire car at Bewley Garage. You could hire it out for the day and go and have a picnic or something. I think they wanted the sills just protected against rust and things. I drove it in January. It was very cold the day we filmed that. But yeah, it's nice to actually see this again. I didn't think I would, but here it is. And next we've got this Mercedes C230. This is the W203. Unless you're sort of thinking about sort of rust problems with these, and front wings were particularly bad on the early ones, these aren't too bad. I quite like them. I drove one of these in 2022. It was an immaculate one from 2006, a C180, and it was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. There wasn't that much I could say about it, I don't think, particularly, but yeah, I quite like those. Next we've got a Lotus Elise. This is a 2012 to 13. Not the biggest selling car in the world. It's still got, I think those are mirrors off of Rover 100 or something. At some point in my life I must try an Elise. I never have actually. I've never really driven many Lotus at all. I've driven one, which was a Nano 100. So maybe I should correct that at some point, viewers. Next we've got an MB MX-5. I parked very near one of these, actually next to one of these yesterday, and there were children all day going in and out of it. It was dressed to look like the car from Cars, that red one. Yeah, you can either have your Cars replica or you can have it standard like this. Next we've got this Ford Prefect. This is one of the side valve Prefects. Be from the mid-50s, I would imagine. The Anglia was the 2-door and this is the 4-door. Not the fastest thing in the world. Have these got vacuum operated windscreen wipers or something like that? Which means I think if you go faster, it makes the windscreen wipers go a different speed without you changing anything. So you've got the Sunny today, and Stuart, who owns that Datsun, he knows this car very well as well, so we've just been talking about it and things. He's got a very, very nice Y10 Sunny Traveller, which I must maybe have another go in at some point. I really liked it when I drove that. That's the next generation from this is N13. It's an N14/Y10. It's a bit confusing with the Sunnies, but that's normally how we talk about them. And then this very, very nice Mark IV Supra. Looks like it's an import from what I can see. This is really not very modified at all. I don't know if it actually has any modifications on it. Someone tell me in the comment section below, but that looks very standard apart from that exhaust. But yeah, quite clearly an imported one because we've got the fog light on the bottom of there. Next we've got a Corsa B, which has been, I think, sort of mildly modified this. What it was originally, I'm not sure. I think it's probably got something going on. It's got a leather interior, which is quite rare for a Corsa B actually. Those tended to come on things like the GSI. Then we've got something very different. This 1955 Ford Zephyr Zodiac. This was it's a relatively late one. I think they finished in 56 these. This is the absolute top of the range of the Iota Fords, these were called, back in the day. And you can see they were very proud of the fact that Ford was like a British company, which of course it wasn't. It was the British arm of Ford of America, but nothing to do at all with the American Fords. Next we've got a Toyota Synos. Now this was known as a Paseo over here. They did sell them between 1996 and 1998, but only with a 1.5 engine and only in 2 trims. I drove a Paseo actually, I think in 2022 it was, and it wasn't too bad. It drove quite well. They're not common, these, and this is the imported version of Synos. It's coming from Japan, and this is an even rare one. It's a Synos convertible. This is a 1.3, and it's got an automatic gearbox. As you can see, the paint isn't necessarily the best, but I quite like this view because look at this interior. If this doesn't shout to you 1990s, I really don't know what would. It's a shame, but Passeo was quite a good car. It's just like a lot of Toyotas that weren't actually made in Europe, they tend to undermarket things like that, and that's a bit of a shame. It's a very nice S2000, viewers. I like this very much. I really must have a go in an S2000 at some point. I've never been offered one though, which is a bit of a shame because I don't tend to drive cars I don't get offered. This is a facelift one. I think the facelift occurred in the mid-2000s. These were made for 10 years from 99 to 2009, and that is very nice. Also nice is this Mercedes 500k replica. The 500k was made in the mid-30s. I think it was actually bigger than one of these. What this is based on, I'm not actually sure. I'm not sure at all. If somebody knows what this would be based on, then welcome to tell me, because I'm not actually sure. But it doesn't look too bad actually. I know it's not a real one, but the chances of you seeing a real Mercedes 500k in the wild are quite small. We've got an early bay window. We've got some modification going on, a bit of a rat look as well. Oh, I can smell that engine. Goodness knows what it's actually worth. Probably quite a lot of money actually, like that because of the condition. Then a very late E36. I've never seen an E36 on a V plate before. It's probably one of the absolute last. I knew they made the convertible, they made the touring until '99, but that's right at the end actually. Nice colour. Got an E39 here, 535i, with some interesting wheels. This one's an auto. Do we have the angel eye headlamps? Yes, we do. So it'd be about the age of the plate, which is about 2000 or possibly a bit later. They're very good cars, these. It's just there are certain things on them that can get really expensive to repair if they go wrong. Next you've got this Ford F-150. I think this is from the late 90s. There's a really big American car community in this area, and they do tend to bring their cars out for shows, particularly ones like this with 5.4 V8. Next you've got something very old. Hopefully there's some kind of information sheet on there. That Austin 6 from 1932, I think. The thing about Pride and Joy events, and I don't go to as many as I should do really, they tend to clash with other ones, is that they don't have a policy on what you bring at all, which is actually very nice. It's reassuring to know that. Next you've got this Rover 3500 from 73-74 on an M. This has got a manual gearbox, so I think it's a 3500S. Yes, it is. That's very nice. And an SW20 MR2 with some interesting graphics on it. Again, it's a sort of Lightning McQueen replica thing, like the MX-5 I saw yesterday. Be an early one, so 90 to 91 on an H. But a Volvo PV544. These continued in production well after the Amazon had come out. I think for about 9 years afterwards. Volvo always seemed to overlap the models back in the day, and this is no exception. Why they felt the need to overlap models by about 10 years, I don't know, but they did. We've got something else really old. It's sold on wooden wheels. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Oh, it's an Essex Super Sexy. Essex was, I think, made in America as far as I remember. Not really know much about them. And then one of these Morris vans. These were based on the Mark 1 Austin A55 Cambridge, but lasted for far longer than those did. And they used both Austin and Morris badges. This is actually from the 70s. This is 71, 72. They finished in 73, these things. They just kept on going for some reason. I don't quite know why, but they felt the need to do that. Same with the A35 vans, they lasted forever too. Citroen DS21, this is one of the later ones. It's got the later door handles on this as well, so it's after 1971. And it's very nice. Most of them are left-hand drive actually, the DSs you'd see in this country. And that's no exception. As you've got a Westfield still on Q plates, as Westfields used to be back in the day. Those Ford Fiesta Mark II mirrors or something like that. I don't know what engine is it there. It's sort of a twin cam. Is that a Ford twin cam engine? I don't know. Nice Morris 1000 Traveller. very late one, 70 to 71. Let's have a look at this information sheet here. Not and bolt restoration. It is 71. It's a very, very late one. Top speed. I mean, yeah, top speed. About 70 on a good day. Someone's put front disc brakes on that, which is, to be honest with you, it's a very, very good safety measure. Much older Miner here. This is a Series 2 Miner. This will be from the mid-50s. You've got trafficators, split windscreen. Ostensibly though, it's still very similar to the one that was made 15 or so years later. Then another early bay window, 68 to 69 on a G. I think they came out 68, these things. Obviously these days these are worth an absolute fortune. Someone's done a very nice job on the interior. Right hand drive, which is sort of unusual. A lot of them are left hand drive now. Another retype here, this time it's a Series 3. Again a 2+2, all the coupes of Series 3 were 2+2s. I do prefer these to drive. They've got power steering as standard and they're just a little bit easier, particularly if you have one of the newer gearboxes in them. But yeah, that's good. Actually, in terms of E-types, that's probably a relatively affordable one. Not affordable at all is this BMW E30. This is an M3 and it's a real one. Goodness knows what this is worth. You know, I'm just going round it, probably clocking up in value because I'm walking around. But there we go. I don't know if actually that's an additional plate or if it's a personal one. I'm not quite sure. But it's very nice. And in a Mustang, 5 litre V8. Are you allowed to a kind of font like that on your number plate? I'm not sure.